Welcome to the fourth and final installment of building a model on a $40 budget. I hope you've watched and enjoyed the first three parts where I picked this Revell 66 Malibu, discussed some fine print for the build, used some of the most affordable aerosol paint, then showed how to add easy engine details. Let's get to wrapping up the interior. All of this tape on the inside of the roof looks like a mess, but this is the start of an overlooked detail in most models, the headliner. This is the start of a template for the headliner. When I peeled the tape off, it also peeled off some of the Krylon shortcuts paint with it. It appears that the adhesion level of the paint applied to the clean bare plastic is not optimal. I'm unsure I would recommend using the shortcut paint unless you plan to do a single color paint job. I marked the window openings before removing the tape. This looks rough, but it would get refined when transferred to peel and stick red felt found at the lobby of Hobby. It's only 99 cents a sheet. Once the shape is refined, it was test fitted into the body, and the trim 6 times measure once technique was used until finally peeling and sticking it. The one-piece glass unit was adjusted next. The heavy runners connecting the windshield and rear window interfered with the headliner, so those were removed with the trusty ninja saw. And then the runners were sent to the burn pile. Back to the interior. You all saw that this all got flocked with the giant Parmesan cans of Hobby Lobby flocking. And it's pretty good looking. I mean, for what it is, you know, it's got some texture, some even coverage, which is what the goal was. But as you can see, it's a little bland. You know, it's like door panels, you know, it's just like a giant tub of red, which you don't really see much interior in this car. But I have a plan to jazz this up just a little bit, and it's even gonna be cheaper. So here we go. Dun dun dun. Hobby Lobby again sells paper for $1.99. It's 12 by 12, and yeah, white. No, we're not gonna do that. This is what it actually looks like. It is this kind of aluminum look to it, and it's got a little bit of a texture to it. So what I think I'm going to do is make some templates out of probably cheaper paper to transfer onto this paper to make some door panels and maybe a little backseat panel piece. And then it looks like it has some aluminum interior panels, and those will get glued in, so stay tuned. Let's get busy with that. Well, as said, here's the interior tub. You are certainly familiar with this. And here's one of the paper templates I made for the other paper. And I know you're thinking, why would I even make a paper template for a piece of paper? Well, it's just, I don't know, this is the same kind of thing that if you're dealing with metal or any other kind of stuff, this is just cheaper. I mean, you could make this out of your junk mail, and it's better to, you know, cut 3 times and measure once to make sure it kind of fits where you want it to be. So I think I'm good with that. And I did 2 other pieces, a door panel one and a side panel. And these things, you know, I think it's obvious where they go. And after I transferred it to the paper, I only used 1-inch strip of it. And so here's the cut piece, and that is pretty cool looking. And so it'll get, you know, glued in straight back there. And I think that's going to be a neat effect for the interior. So let's see what I did for the side panels. So as I showed, I had these two pieces, and they became these pieces after it's all said and done. And as you notice, we have an armrest, and that was simply made out of the felt that I made the headliner out of. Yeah, I just peeled the backing off, folded it over, cut it out, and stuck it on there. And upon further look, I'll pick that up, I also added some little doodads. It might be hard to see, but I have a door release and a window crank. There's also a window crank on the back one, and those are photo etch pieces. So to amortize these, you can get these from Detail Master for about $5, a little over $5. You're not going to use them all. So basically, you need enough to do the full car, which is 6, so that's 1 row of them. If you want to use the mirrors, you got mirrors to use. You have more door handles to use on your next build. So to add the door handles, I had these in stock from an old model car garage set. These are slightly different. What are they worth? $1? $2? If you didn't have them, $2 max. So we'll add that to the cost of the build. Here's the cost of these interior details. The red sticky felt was 99 cents. I used about a quarter of it, which comes to a whopping 25 cents. The aluminum paper was $1.99, but I only used a small piece, which added 8 cents to the build. The Detail Master photo etch bits nearly broke the bank, coming in at $2.62. So the interior got adequately spruced up for under $3. Another fun detail will be for the seats. So we need a Properlator 6000. Just use that right there. And let's just see if I can, there we go. On the decal sheet, you have seat belts. And these are cool, but I don't like just sliding, applying them as water slide decals. I think that doesn't look all that good. So what I did was trim them carefully off the paper, and you have to paint the edges with a Sharpie afterwards. That's why they kind of look like that. And then when you glue them on, I think that these are the ones that go on that seat, they'll have a bit more depth to them. There's the other one, right, the door. And I'm not, this is silly, but I'm not really a fan of putting seat belts in my models. Why? I don't know. I think it just, most of the time they just don't look all that good. Maybe this one goes over there. I don't know. We'll figure this out. But this is just kind of displaying how these will look on the finished seat. And for this build, since they're on the decal sheet, I'll put them on there, and I think that's going to look pretty cool, because this thing is got a tunnel ram big block on it and these seats don't look very supportive, so we'll have something to strap you in. So that's that, and there's a Properlator 6000. So one last piece of the interior, the dashboard. And I did a little bit of interesting detailing on this. On these real cars, the dash is red, but it has all this black trim on it. And the gauge panel is on the decal sheet, and I just cut it out, just like those seat belts, and blackened the edges. Added a little bit of silver paint to the radio. And this black area on this side, that's simply a piece of electrical tape that I cut and applied because that matches what's over here. And since I had the black electrical tape out, that's what this is. Because on the real car, that is also a black piece of trim. And I don't know about you guys, I'm not really into detail painting things. You know, it's like you start doing this, and then you got black paint all over all of it, you know. And so I just decided that the black electrical tape in there kind of does what it's supposed to do. And steering wheel was painted the same red, and just some silver paint and some black flowed into the spokes. And I added a little turn signal stalk over there. It's just a piece of wire. I think that's about maybe a penny's worth of wire. And all of these little silver dots, they're just silver dots of paint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots of paint. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. I mean, I could put photo etch doodads all over it, but for this build, we're going cheap. And it came out looking pretty good, I guess. You know, we'll see. So let's get this installed and wrap up the interior.
And here's the final interior. The first thing you notice is the flat white roll bar. I decided to paint it the Tamiya white primer when I painted the headers and the exhaust. I thought it would break up the sea of red interior, and the aluminum paper door panels help with that as well. I thought this came out pretty nice considering the budget supplies used. I decided to use the bare minimum of bare metal foil on the body. After trimming and removing the excess, even the foil pulled a bit of paint off. I touched this up with a Sharpie marker, and now pretend that it didn't really happen. The bare minimum of bare metal foil makes a huge difference in the final appearance of the model. I used about 3 square inches, which comes to a whopping 69 cents worth of material. This was totally worth it.
One of the things I never really cared for in this kit, that's my personal preference, were the wheels and tires. These are okay, I guess, I don't know. But these with the, you know, no hubs, I don't know, they're just kind of plain to me. So I know this is a budget build, and factoring in part swapping, we have to do something about that. I bought this one, and as you can see, it came from the Hobby of Lobby, and of course I didn't pay that price. We got it on the 40% off coupon. But when I look at this one, and its box is like Fort Knox, I kind of like these wheels. And what's cool about these particular wheels is they fit the tires that come in this one. And what's even neater is that this 55 kit even comes with another set of wheels. So technically, if I steal these wheels out of that kit, I can still build this kit. So even better, if I snip these wheels off and put them in this kit, I still have 2 sets of wheels for this. And we can put it on the shelf. And should I factor, how much should I factor in for a set of different wheels? Because basically, there was another version of this kit that was red, and it has this style wheel in it. But it has some of the other parts like this scoop, and I think I just want those wheels. So let's just snip these off. Maybe about snip. And I don't know, we need that piece? Probably not. We're gonna put those in there, and then we're gonna snip these wheels off. We still need these parts. Get out of here.
Let's do some more model car math. Part swapping is one of my favorite parts of model car building. So, if I take a kit that has 2 sets of wheels, use one set, but put a set back in that fits that kit, it should be a wash, right? Put that down in the comments if you agree.
So it put the panel line accent on 2 wheels so you can see the comparison to the other. And I just think that 2 of them look more real than just the other 2, which are just bare chrome. So we're going to do the other ones and then get them off the sprue.
The 55 Chevy wheels needed to be modified to use with the Malibu backing plates. The Ninja Saw made quick work of that. The front face of the backing plates was painted red to simulate contrasting drum brakes. The kit tire decals were applied, then the tires were lightly misted with Dullcoat to seal them on. Another quick and easy detail was using a red Sharpie to color the taillights. Any well-stocked junk drawer should have some colored Sharpies. The panel between the lights is black on most SS cars. This was done with a bit of acrylic black, then the raised areas were carefully scraped with a toothpick. A small piece of leftover bare metal foil was applied to the back of the taillights to quickly give them a reflector.
All right. The Revell is almost done. You've seen all of the parts that went into it, and it's got all of the fingerprints because I've been playing with it. We'll get that cleaned up, but as you can see, it's missing a very important piece. So we're going to try to get this on without breaking it, which is probably going to be extremely difficult. So let's see if I can do this without breaking anything. No, I didn't break anything, but it's not doing what it's doing. Flip nose things. Maybe close. Is it there? Nope. Oh, you're watching my hand, and I can't see what I'm doing. Did it go? I think it went. Oh. Moment of truth. It fits pretty good. All right. I think it fits about as good as all of them do. And as I said that was the final piece, it's not really. Because you notice I left off the snorkel because I just didn't like that look. And these little wimpy looking velocity stacks they're like little tiny pills. They're just not gonna cut it. And so these were the parts that inspired this whole project. Aluminum velocity stacks from Mr. Model, the aluminum metal parts series. And believe it or not, these things are $4.41. And I just couldn't believe that. So let me open these up and you'll see what a difference this makes. So here's one. And I don't know if you can see it. It's nicely machined. Has a little divot for the wing nut if you want to put a separate piece. And they actually have screen for the filters. And then they have a nice velocity stack. So when I put these on here, I'm just gonna set them there. There's one. Now, this is the look I wanted to have for this. And I had to modify the scoop a little bit in the back, because in order for it to still flip, see if I can do this without destroying them. Of course they fall off. That will allow the big velocity stack. See how that has that gap? So I had to grind that out after it was painted, of course, and it's been touched up. But that's basically what's going on here. And that looks amazing. I can't wait to glue these on. So let's look at them one more time. They're crooked. I'll glue them on straight, but that's gonna look amazing. And then we'll get some good photos of it. Stay tuned.
Here is the finished budget Malibu. I had planned to use the flame decals that come in the kit, but in the end decided I liked the solid stealth black much better. It looks like a tough, all-business 70s street racer, and the flames might have ruined that look. The slotted mags and white letter tires complement the white side pipes and white roll bar. These provide nice highlights to the red interior and black exterior. Under the flip nose is that big block with tall machined aluminum velocity stacks and those iconic yellow plug wires. I also added some radiator hoses made from heat shrinked wire, as they are not included in the kit and would be an obvious omission. Underneath is just the flat black chassis, with the chrome bits that come in the kit. I didn't think anything else needed to be included here. I believe I have around a leisurely 30 hours into this build, and the final cost of the supplies used, including the cost of the kit, was $35.58, which I hope shows you don't have to break the bank to build a nice looking model. I'll include a cost breakdown in the video description. It's now time to get back on some other projects. I hope this Palmer Porsche didn't get too close to the burn pile. And then there's the 6-engine Dodge Dart dirt racer to reckon with. As always, like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do, because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.